Good morning, everyone. So this is a video mostly for parents to help you guys out with the math and to help you guys understand how it's set up a little bit better, and just to give a guiding hand. So let me pull up my document camera so I can show you what I'm looking at. The first thing that we're going to be looking at is going to be the math test. So this is the Chapter 9 math test. You should have turned this in already, and this is what it looks like. Now, some of you were confused because it was stapled together in a white packet like this, and I totally understand the confusion. You were not alone in it. I just want to do some clarifying right now. This Chapter 9 was the only paper from this packet that you were supposed to do so far. These other pages, Chapter 10, 11, and 12 are not supposed to be done yet. These are going to be your math assessment that you're giving at the end of each week according to my lesson plan. So on Friday last week, I had Chapter 9 assessment, and that would have been this paper. For this Friday's lesson plan, I have Chapter 10 assessment, and it should be this paper. If your student has already done them and you have not turned them into me, please just erase the answers and give it to them again at the end of the week. That is okay. Now remember, when you're giving an assessment, the idea of an assessment is that you want to see what they learned from this week. It's not about giving them the answers. And I want to see how they're learning at home because that tells me if I need to give some added support. So if they get it wrong, don't correct them. I know it's so hard and it's easy to look over their shoulder and say, are you sure about that one? Don't do it. Just let them be, move on. If you need to step away, that's okay. I know. So, let's read this Chapter 10, ordinal numbers. What are your favorite fruits? Draw, then share with your two friends. Again, you don't have to share with the two friends part, but what's their first choice? So what's their favorite fruit? They should have learned that from what they're learning in math this week. Second choice, third choice. Again, if you guys already did these, just erase it and do it again. If you need a new copy of the math pages, let me know. I'd be glad to send them over. Then you'd flip it over. Oh man, sorry, it's all stuck. And you have questions 2 and 3. What comes first? What comes last? So, and you can always give more detail in helping. So that first picture, you're going to say, okay, look at number 2. Of those 2 pictures, what comes first? Looking at number 3, looking at those pictures, which comes last? You don't have to do the let's talk pages or the let's talk questions, sorry. We don't do these in class. You can do them as extracurricular, but they are not required and they won't get points for them on their test. So for each of the math tests, don't worry about the let's talk section. Again, at the end of this week, you will only turn in to me this page, Chapter 10. 11 and 12 need to wait until after those assessments are given. If you have any questions about this setup, please let me know. If you already did them, again, it's okay. You are not alone in having them done. Just this is how I want to help guide you a little bit. Let's look at the actual math pages this week. There aren't that many. And this week we're talking about ordinal numbers. So we're talking about first, second, third place. It's a place and it's also about a sequence of pictures. And so you're teaching them that this week. So looking at their page, if you turned in page 40, I am not worried about it. Don't worry. And because I know some of you tore it out to turn in with last week's math, and that is okay. So looking at this page, you're looking at the pictures on the right, and you're helping your kindergartner recognize the vocabulary first, next, last. So have them look at the pictures and say, okay, what from over here is going to come first? What's going to come next after the birdies are in their shell? Yeah, they're going to hatch. And what comes last? Yeah, they're going to fly away. Help them to understand these verbs and how they relate to a sequence of events. That goes for page 41 too. So again, my book is complete because I have the teacher's edition, but in your student's book, these frames are all blank and they need to color them the correct color. Again, this is why this video isn't for the student and this is for the parent, so you know how to teach it. So again, you're helping them understand first, next, last verbiage. So have them look at the pictures of the boy with his shoes and let's look what comes first. First, he needs to get his shoe on, right? He doesn't have one sock and he doesn't have a shoe on. What would come next? His shoes need to get tied. And what would be last? The boy's all ready to go to school. I know, and again, this one is a trickier one because it's like, is he taking his shoes off or is he putting them on? And so that's another reason I wanted to take this video, because really it could be reversed, as in this is first, then he untied his shoe, and then he started to take his shoes off. But according to the book, it's this way. Hope that's helpful. Let's look at the rest. All right, it looks like we're looking at a story of an apple going all the way from getting washed to getting eaten and thrown away. So again, this is about helping your kindergartner recognize vocabulary, first, second, third, last. And so what would happen here? This is the first step, right? You need to wash off your apple. Second, you're going to peel the apple. Third, eat the apple. Fourth, throw away the trash. Or last, sorry, not fourth, last. For page 43, it says, color the child that comes before the baby bear. Then circle the child that comes after baby bear. This is so important because they need to understand that verbiage of before and after. Before, after. Make sure they are making the right choice. Be there, guide them, and if they make a mistake, it's okay. They make mistakes, and help them just understand what mistake they made and why it's the other way. And it's okay. Remind them it's okay to make mistakes. All right, our last page for this week. Again, there's not too many pages this week. Is page 44. Showing your preference, pair. So this page is different because it varies by child. It is not based on correct answers. It's about what is your child's first choice between these three animals when they go to the zoo. What's the first animal they would want to see? How about the second choice? What's the second animal they would want to see? So if I wanted to go see the elephant first, then maybe my second choice would be either the lion or the bear. And then what would be my third choice, my last choice? Help your student to understand that first choice is most important. It's what they want to do the most. And second choice is what would come after that first choice. And third choice is like what would come after that second. So help them to understand the importance of first, second, third. Just like if they were choosing a restaurant and you said, okay, where would be your number one restaurant to go? And they said Chick-fil-A. And they said, oh, it's Sunday. So what's your second choice? And they said, McDonald's. And he said, we had McDonald's yesterday. How about your third choice? So help them to walk through what that would mean, okay? So that's actually all the pages there are for math this week. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and I'd be glad to help.